Assalamualaikum and greetings everyone. We from Group 1, which is our title is Environmental Impacts of Space Utilization for Indoor Cats. Here our team member. Next, this is contents from chapter 1 until chapter 6. Next, introduction. American Veterinary Medical Association recommended cats to be kept indoors so that the cat's welfare and behavioral needs can be met. Then, by having the best management of space utilization, the impacts of indoor house cats toward the environment can be controlled. This is the problem statement. Firstly, the environmental impacts for space utilization for indoor cats included human health and performance, especially those who are allergic to cat fur. Then, keeping cats strictly indoor possesses several risks to humans and the cats if an optimum environment is not provided. Next, this is our research objectives. First, to determine the relationship between environmental factors of space utilization and indoor cats' behavior. Second, to identify the impacts on the environment from space utilization for indoor cats. And lastly is to assess the effects of controlled and uncontrolled outdoor access to cats. Our significance of study is to the community, especially those who own cats. By conducting this research, public awareness on how to care for indoor cats could be raised and increased. Okay, I pass to the next presenter.
Okay, for the literature review that we have made, okay, next. We have found that for environmental factors for space utilization, found that the necessary environmental aspects are thermoregulatory environment, odor, sounds, and next is usable floor space, food presentation, and facilities. In terms of space utilization, we found that in a home, we need to provide the nutritional, physical, social, occupational, and sensory. Okay, next. Okay, for the cat's behavior, based on the previous studies, we have found that among the problematic behaviors in cats are house soiling, excessive vocalization, scratching, excessive fear, and aggression. Okay, next. For the environmental impacts of space utilization, we found that the environmental impacts are it causes bacterial growth, increase in temperature, and indoor air pollution. Okay, I will pass to the next presenter.
Okay, for the next literature review that we found in our finding, which is the control of the access to indoor cats, there have two, which is the benefit of control outdoor access to indoor cat and the disadvantage of control outdoor access to indoor cat. For the benefit cat owners with cat, reduce the risk of disease and parasite infection, decrease ecological impacts. And for the disadvantage, experience physical and mental health like obesity, which is we find in Makoda et al., and exposed to poisoning substances in indoor environment and affect owner health. Next. For the uncontrolled outdoor access to indoor cat, debility, increased risk of trauma, predation, and poisoning, contribution to homeless and feral cats population. And then for the welfare benefit uncontrolled outdoor access, natural behavior prevention of behavioral problems and exercise. Next, for the part of methodology, for the document review method we use for the data collection is to find the relevant text on the owners of indoor cats household. Authenticity of document is to be accessed, such as the government studies and product studies from the veterinarian. And for the research instrument, we use document, report, scholarly papers, which is focused on the research variables. For the sampling method, we use purposive sampling, which is the document based on some of the pre-specified inclusion criteria. And lastly, for the data analysis, we use the coding and thematic analysis, which is the relevant text based on the theme was highlighted and coded. And next, and lastly, document were categorized as excellent, good, limited, none, and unclear. Okay, next I pass to the next presenter.
Okay, for the observation method is our site location is urban and suburban area, which is Petaling Jaya and Serdang. We use the direct observation for data collection. We walk into the owner's house with checklist and photograph as a collection tools. And we conduct this observation 1 hour with 2 interval data, which is 30 minutes. Next, our research instrument are the checklist of the environmental factors, space utilization for indoor cats behavior, which is all the variables, and the cat behavior problems. For the sampling method and size, we use non-probability sampling, which is accessible for owner cats. Atlas IT is the software and tools that we use to analyze the data. Next.
So for interview method, our site location is divided into suburban and urban. Suburban area is collected from Kelantan and Selangor people, while for urban is from Pulau Pinang. For data collection, we invite the interviewee and we distribute the links. So we done the online interview via Google Meet, and it lasted a session lasted for about an hour. For our sampling method and size, we use purposive sampling, and we managed to have 6 interviewees. For research instrument, we provided interview guide throughout the session, and it is conducted through online platforms such as Google Meet and Zoom calls. And as interviewers, we jot down the results in a form to gather the data that we obtain. For data analysis, we go through these 4 things, which is data transcription, thematic analysis, data coding, and data teaming. So I'll pass to the next presenter.
Okay, for open-ended survey, our specific site location is in Selangor. We collect our data using Google Forms, and for the sampling method and size, 10 respondents are chosen based on researchers' availability, and we use purposive sampling. And for the research instrument, a form is distributed to respondents to formulate a response in their own words and to express it verbally or in writing. And for the data analysis, we use thematic analysis, specifically inductive approach. Okay, I will pass to the next presenter.
Okay, for focus group discussion application, we use online platform, which is a Google Meet, and we interview a cat owner home. For data collection, we jot down the information and ask some question to all the panel and record that session. So the research instrument, which is we record a video using Google Meet, and question will be given to all panel. Next is for sampling method and size, we use purposive sampling, and our panel is 3 panels. And for data analysis, first we data transcription, next thematic analysis, then data coding, and lastly data terming. I pass to next presenter.
Okay, for the data collections and result, first is the document review. For objective 1, it's about the relationship between environmental factors of space utilizations and indoor cats behavior problems. And for the document review, and there are there were two coders, and were categorized with excellent grades. And the first coders and second coders mentions the environments of cats living is important as environmental factor that affects cats' behavior from physical system, nutritional system, elimination system, and also sensory environment, which there is significant relationship between environmental factors of space utilizations and indoor cats' behavior problem. Next.
Right, then from observation, there was a weak relationship between environmental factor and cat behavior in overall. So as you all can see, the orange color indicated a weak correlationship between the environmental factor and the cat behaviors. So among all of the variables, the strongest relationship occurred between feeding and excessive fear. And below are the some example of the observation that we obtained, such as the cat toys and litter facility. Next.
So for interview part, this is our overall data that we collected for objective 1. From the table previously, we have summarized that 4 out of 6 owners locate the cats facility indoors, and cats which are fully indoors are more playful, but they are indolent. And indoor cats are more choosy compared to cats that are allowed outdoor access. And for the outdoor space that are provided to the cats, it allows the cat with hunter behavior, which makes them more active compared to indoor cats. So I'll pass to next presenter.
Yeah, for the document review, based on the objective 2, which is environmental impacts from space utilizations for indoor cats, from the both coders, the space utilization was a vital factor that affect the indoor cats. This is because the cat's behavior can reflect the environmental impacts of space utilization through climbing higher, scratching furniture, and also house soiling. Next.
So for objective 2 for interview, um, among the 6 cat owners, the summary that we have obtained is spacious. Most of the owners have spacious house, so it is not affected by the facilities since they are able to put their facilities in proper places. And then the air quality is not badly affected since the facilities are well maintained and put outdoors. Next.
So this is our finding for the open-ended survey methods. For the impact of habitats, the respondent give the negative impacts, which outdoor pollutions, indoor air pollutions, carbon head, and indoor hygiene depletions. And the positive impact is a pest control, mentionables, and no impact. The impact of providing facilities to the environment, the respondent give the negative impacts, which the extra cost needs and consume space for the negative impacts, providing facilities to the environment. Positive impacts. The respondent give the answers. The cost is effective, control urinate and dissipated, emotional control, and no impact.
For the focus group discussion, we have two themes. First, space utilization. For the panel 1, panel 2, panel 3, they have all provide spatial space utilization for the cat. There is also the problem of cat hair falling out of space utilization. Next, for the health, they are also have negative effect as well as positive effects on health due to indoor cats.
Next is about the document review for the objective 3, which is the effect of controlled and uncontrolled outdoor access to cats. As a result, there were negative effects of uncontrolled outdoor access toward cats from both quarters. They mentions the cats would met accident, fight with other cats, and infected disease and parasites when they access outdoor. Thus, the owner practiced control indoor access to cats. Next.
For the summary from the previous level for the objective 3 is first, we identify the cat is in good health, playful. Outdoor cats require less effort and they were active. Indoor cats were easy to monitor but were a little bit passive.
Okay, for open-ended survey, we have owners stated that for control outdoor access to cats, it causes lack of predictability, obesity, and for the positive impacts, it benefits in terms of health, safety, and hygiene. For uncontrolled outdoor access to cats, the negative impacts is it causes health deterioration, and for the positive impacts, it boosts emotions. Okay, next.
For focus group discussion, we can see that all three panels was uncontrolled cat, and the panel allow the cats to explore and play outdoor at certain times of the they will their cat indoor or cage alone. Next is about health, which panel one argue that uncontrolled cat is more skeptical to disease and next.
Okay, this is chapter 5, triangulation and synthesis. So, this is our finding. for relationship between environment factors and space utilizations and indoor cat behavior problems. So the document review show this significance. However, observation and interview, there is a no significant relationship between environmental factors or space utilization and indoor pest behavior. Okay, environmental impact from the space utilization for the indoor cats. There are positive impacts on the environment from a space utilization for the indoor cats, which the interview, open-ended survey, and focus group discussion. This show the positive impacts. For the negative impacts, document review, interview, open-ended survey, and group focus group discussions. Next, effect of a control and uncontrolled odor access to cats. For the positive impacts for control odors, they show the document review, interview, and open-ended survey. For the all methods show the outdoor access has negative impacts. Uncontrolled outdoor access has negative impacts, and uncontrolled outdoor access the negative effect of the cats.
Next would be the recommendation. So in summary, that a good space utilization for indoor cats can reduce cats' abnormal behavior and enhance their welfare. So there are positive and negative impacts on controlled and uncontrolled outdoor access to cats. Besides, there are positive and negative impacts on the environment from space utilization for indoor cats recorded. So for the recommendation, there are actually many several strategies for different types of cats. For example, for frustrated cat, an appropriate sensory stimulation and social stimulation can be provided. While for anxious or fearful cat, we can increase the security of floor space and provide pheromone therapy. So in conclusion, each cat should be treated on an individual basis with environmental enrichment strategy adjusted. So here are the list of reference that we conducted. And that's all from us. Thank you.